Hey guys, for Reader's Workshop today, we're going to focus on how the author helps make a picture in your mind based on the words that they write. So sometimes, writers can describe the setting of a story in order to paint a picture in your brain about where the story takes place. They can use sound words to do this, small actions of what the characters or whoever the story is about is whatever they're doing. And they can include lots of dialogue, people talking back and forth in order for you to paint a picture in your brain about what is taking place in the story. So I'm going to share a little example of that with you right now. We're going to take a peek at Owl Moon by Jane Yolen, and it's the very first page of the story, and this is how it goes. I want you, as I'm reading the story, to make a picture in your brain. What does this look like? So this blue box right here that I have covered is an actual picture from the first page of the book. But as I'm reading this to you, I want you to sort of close your eyes and just make a picture in your brain. What is this picture going to look like in your head? Picture it, okay? Close your eyes. It was late one winter night, long past my bedtime, when Pa and I went owling. There was no wind. The trees stood still as giant statues, and the moon was so bright the sky seemed to shine. Somewhere behind us, a train whistle blew, long and low, like a sad, sad song. So I want you to picture that in your brain. What does that look like? What is the setting of the story? When is it taking place? Who is this story about? Where are they? So you're going to imagine that in your brain. What does it look like? What did it look like as I was reading that story, this first page of the story to you? What were you picturing? And I'm going to read it one more time before I actually show you the picture. It was late one winter night, long past my bedtime, when Pa and I went owling. There was no wind. The trees stood still as giant statues, and the moon was so bright the sky seemed to shine. Somewhere behind us, the train whistle blew, long and low, like a sad, sad song. So now I'm going to go ahead and take this box away, and you can see the actual picture from the story. So we know that it's nighttime in this story. Okay, it was late one winter night, long past my bedtime. So even though this picture looks like it's sort of daytime, right? You can see shadows on the ground of the people, a shadow from the tree, and a shadow of the house. We know that it's nighttime because they're talking about how the moon was so bright and the sky seemed to shine. So it's late one winter night. They actually tell us that, but we also know because it's talking about the moon. So in your brain, you should have been picturing something along the lines of nighttime. Okay, and then this was the actual picture of what you saw and what you see if you were going to read this book. Okay, so your job, once you finish reading for today, after 30 minutes, is going to be to go back into Google Classroom and choose a piece of your book that you were actually able to picture in your brain. So I chose this piece of Owl Moon because as I was reading Owl Moon, I was able to visualize, I was able to picture in my brain exactly what this picture looks like. Okay, now it might have been a little bit different from what the author imagined in her brain, but I knew it was nighttime. I knew that there was no wind, so all the trees were standing still. The moon was really, really bright, so I could picture there being shadows on the ground. I know that it's wintertime, so in my brain, I pictured snow. So your job for today is going to be to pick a section of your text and record it in Google Classroom. Okay, you can copy it right from the book. And then, you're going to just give evidence of how the author used that in order for you to paint a picture in your head. Okay, so mine was only one, let's see, two, three, four, five sentences long. So yours can be 2 or 3 sentences long, 5 sentences long, however long it needs to be in order for you to understand what the setting or what the picture looked like in your brain. So my examples that I would write out of this would be winter, night. I would say trees stood still. The moon is bright. I could say also a train whistle is blowing in the background. So all of those things helped me picture what is happening and what is going on in this story. So I want you to write, when you go into Google Classroom, the piece of text exactly from your book, and then specifically those words that help you to paint a picture in your brain. Okay? Happy reading.